Martin Racing Performance, the most advanced parts on the planet. Oh yeah!
I'm taking off the foot part. So we can, I don't know what we're doing actually. Maybe you should ask Curdy. I'm
still trying to figure out what she's trying to do. She's been riding motorcycles since she was a twerp and she still doesn't know how to turn a screwdriver.
No.
I guess Dad must have done most of the work, huh, April?
Yeah.
First thing you start off with your mechanic. They stick you on the scooters. Make sure you know what you're doing. So you go from the scooters and you start there and you move up.
Once we get done with this, we're hoping to gain, 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour out of it, and maybe 10 horsepower at the back wheel, and it should be a lot faster. And I don't know about gas mileage. We're hoping it's good on gas, but
I don't pay my gas prices, but gas prices are pretty high.
She doesn't care. She doesn't pay.
My dad. But no, but I do go to the cheapest stations I can find. I do that. I save him every penny I can save.
She just knows how to swipe the card. She's good.
Exactly. I'm a pro. My Hummer gets 16 to 20 miles a gallon. Thank you very much. 60? 16.
Not with that lead foot.
Did you consider that good?
That's decent.
They stink. Almost $3 a gallon right now. I'm sick of paying it. Good thing I drive a 4-cylinder, or I'd be hurting. But to this scooter here, we should get, what do you think, Buck? 35, 40 miles a gallon, this baby? Now, but after we modify it out, she probably ain't gonna be near as that.
5
probably
miles a
be down to 12.
gallon. Looks like we got all the plastics off here, and we're gonna take the pipe off, and then it looks like it might be Dave and Curdy from then on.
Oh, we're gonna hit and remove this exhaust. Put on the high-tech one.
I'm putting on a Martin Racing Performance pipe.
Hold this wrench for me, April.
A lot better than what we have now.
What's your face?
You take some of the cables and such off.
Oh, there it goes. Where'd it go?
I don't think they know what they're doing.
Look at that. Done. What are you guys doing? Not done yet, though.
I'm looking for this.
Throw them in the box.
Thanks,
Sweet. Pipe is off.
With these modifications, we're going to add quite a bit of horsepower. But who knows how much with my dad's race gas.
Taking everything off that's attached to this whole motor and the rear end assembly is kind of all one piece here. So I'm just taking everything off that's attached to that. Like next we'll take off these shocks, get all the cables and all the electrical wires off of it. That way we can just, a few bolts here and that whole rear end will just slide right off of there.
well, we're trying not to have as many parts as we need. We don't need all the parts onto it to put it on the bench and work on it. So.
The old scooter tricks of the trade.
All right, we already took off all the wiring and everything mostly. Took off the ground wires. Before you take off the ground wires, you want to disconnect the battery. Make sure you don't arc all over the place or shock yourself. This is the valve cover, your head, cylinder. What's different here on like a motorcycle, all over here is things like clutch drive system. I'm not really sure how it works. If you notice the motor, it pivots with the rear wheel. It's like a swing arm kind of deal.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We clear?
Tell us about your dad. He comes in, he's 10 seconds too late, $10 too short. Not just $1 in a second or a day.
2, 1.
Well, as you can see here, we've got pretty much the motor's out. Most of the plastics are taken off. Pretty much complete with the teardown. With the gas prices the way they are, these motors are nice. They don't burn too much gas. They're pretty fuel efficient. Not after we're done with it, of course. But for the way it looks now, it is pretty fuel efficient. Some of the components, got some nice components. We have hydraulic twin piston rear brakes, which is a real nice feature, a real good stopping power. And we're gonna need all that for how much power we put into this thing. Yeah, it looks like the teardown looked like pretty easy, but just wait till I put it back together because
Stick with my original.
I don't know if I remember how.
That could get scary.
Yeah, I don't know.
So thanks Motomania for giving us this awesome bike to trick out so me and Chase can go jump some double.
It's not an awesome bike, it's an awesome, super sick scooter. Thank you.
Time to modify this thing.
Well, this is the fun part. This little box here is a box of goodies from Martin Performance. It has a larger CD carburetor. We can't go anywhere without our big bore cylinder. It actually has a 62 millimeter piston and a larger cylinder, as you can see. I think we're going to have to modify the cases a little bit to slip this large liner in. And then, of course, you've got a brand new piston pin. We've got a new set of rings and new clips. We have to have a set of gaskets to match our new head. And the timing chain is one piece, so when we break the timing chain, we have to put another one on. and so we have a brand new timing chain for it. If you're going to add this much power to a scooter like this, I mean, these things aren't really designed for this, you know, for street use. They're good for mileage and commuting. But if you're going to put that kind of power down, you better have a heavy-duty clutch, is what we have right here. And then, of course, we have to have a low-restriction exhaust. This is a nice high-performance MRP exhaust. It should sound a little bit better, give a little bit more performance, and actually keep it a little quieter than you would normally expect, because sound is a real issue now. You know that. We've talked about it in all of our shows. So we're going to keep it here pretty much consistent with our scooter.
Well, we just finally got this motor out of here from stock. We're going to go ahead and take over this table and go ahead and modify it.
This is a 4-stroke, 150cc scooter engine. A lot of scooters actually are 2-stroke engines. They're getting away from the 2-stroke engines because of pollution and stuff and the EPA, so they're all going to 4-strokes to have cleaner emissions and stuff. So put a big bore kit in it, a cam and different head, big valves, basically changing the pulleys and the way the spring tension is in the clutches, is like re-gearing, changing the gearing on a regular motorcycle. We're just trying to see where the timing marks are for reassembling it.
I'm using that right there. I've got 3 marks.
I want to figure out the timing on it before we tear.
Before we let the professionals take over, because I have no idea what's going on.
I do, but I'm just letting them do it.
No, she doesn't.
I don't work on these. We're looking at the cam timing, trying to figure out where it was and make some marks, because we don't have a manual for this thing, or we might have one soon, but we don't have one right now. I didn't want to be lost when we're putting it back together.
Got the new cylinder, Joe? Look at that. Look at that. Manuel. Engine oil capacity.
You know how to read this?
33 fluid ounces, 1
Joe.
liter. Not bad. Right now what we're doing, we got this motor torn down. We're basically going to take the stock cylinder off of it and put a bigger one on. We're trying to gain some horsepower and some miles per hour out of this thing. So what we're going to do is be putting a bigger piston, bigger camshaft for more performance, and hopefully we can get this thing rocking and rolling from about 55, and we're hoping to get 80 out of this thing.
How we doing, guys?
You know what you're doing there, buddy?
Good. Well, see if that new cylinder slides up in you.
You know, that would really make... That's a little different.
bigger, yeah. Slides through just the rings. So rattling.
Old piston.
Grinding.
Couldn't figure it out last time.
What we're doing now is we've got to split the whole engine apart so we can bore the cases out.
Right now we're just trying to decide on how we're going to cut these cases out. Can't really set it up in our mill and bore it out, so we're going to have to actually end up doing is splitting these cases, pulling this crankshaft out of here, putting them back together, and going ahead and doing it by hand. That's what Dave's going to do at his house probably tonight. So once he gets that done,
Oh, really?
we're all set, and,
I thought you were taking it home.
I'll take one half, you take the other. We'll do 20 thousandths on each side.
We're going to try to chuck it up in the mill. We're not positive if it's going to fit, but if not, we're going to have to hand grind it. Roughly about 1 millimeter's got to come off of the edges of the case. It probably could take a couple hours, at least an hour grinding, if not a little bit longer. It's going to take some time to get it chucked up in there, but it's just time consuming when you got to do things like this. But that's what performance work's all about. It's not fast. Yeah, and we'll get her done.
Can't say jerk it out.
It's interesting.
What?
Sounds perverted.
Not jerking it off, we're jerking it out.